We talking about practice? Hello, everyone. What's going on? How you guys doing? What's up, Shani, Guggan, Hamza, Yash, BV7, Sean G, Ginger, SPG, Nalish, Yash, Saab. That's a Saab. Guggan, Sandu, sorry. Gurvinder, what's going on, boys? Make sure you give the video a like, share it, get as many people help as you can, because a lot of people need help right now. COVID's pretty bad for a lot of people. So let's get right into it. I would have made a lot. What's up, Manish? How you doing? I would have made a lot more money today, but Ricky was busy making me laugh, calling everyone stock lubers. Was that your real voice? Yes, that was my real voice. Ivan, what's going on? Noni, Gervais, what's good, boys? So, SPY, just a bunch of chop, and then we ended up almost exactly where we opened. Big dip off the open, rip, big dip, rip, big dip. What's next? Take a guess. So let's go to the daily channel here. Let's get rid of all these lines first of all. So basically, I hit SPY 3 times today. 3 for 3. Did pretty great on it. I was expecting a run up into JPOW just because. Why did I expect a run up? Just because I seen a lot of people online saying they were hedged. I looked into the options interest. A lot of people had puts. A lot of people had VIX. A lot of people were hedged basically going into the event, and as you all know, when everyone is tilting one way, I tend to go the other way. So I went back to my old ways, started scalping SPY today, hit it 3 times. Why did I hit it? Let's go into a couple of details here. So one reason I did it was because of QQQ. Right here was my first or second scalp on SPY. I don't remember when I did it, I'm sorry, there's 3 of them. So right here was my first or second. Did I tell you to turn off my fan, bro?
Yes.
God damn, it's hot in here, bro.
Just give me 5 minutes.
No. Okay. So, stop talking, Matt.
Voice.
I'm live. QQQ. So we got back over the pre-market lows here and held. We held on the QQQs. What time was that? That was 10:20 was my first scalp, I believe. I was going over it. Yeah, 10:20 was my first scalp on SPY. I got in about. No, what the hell? Okay, whatever. I'm going to forget about the times. I'm just going to tell you why I did it. QQQs here, we held the pre-market lows, and XLF was going at that same time at about 10:30-ish. Yeah, so 10:30. XLF was oversold and beginning its bounce. QQQ held the pre-market low here. What the hell am I doing? Sorry, guys. Timing was a little bit weird today. But yeah. Anyways, the reason I took SPY calls a bunch of times is because QQQ held important support levels. So I jumped in SPY thinking XLF was strong, QQQ was holding, so SPY must go up. So I grabbed them here, I believe. I sold them here. Grabbed them again here, sold them here. And then another time back here, I don't remember. But you guys seen them all called live. We all made money. It was great. Fun day. QQQ kind of sideways all day as well. So today we opened up today at 365.60 on QQQs. We closed today at 365.83, so a grand total of 23 cents we moved today on QQQ. You wouldn't know that looking at the intraday. Huge dip, huge rip, huge dip, huge rip, and sideways into the end of the day, and we're dipping after hours here. Another reason, XLF, obviously we had a bunch of strength. Huge dip this morning, then huge rip off that resistance line I have drawn from yesterday. So this support, so obviously I told you guys we're just in a big equilibrium between 37 35. If you want to take long-term trades on banks, it must break 37 to the upside or 35 to the downside, depending on if you want puts or calls. But there's a much tighter range being formed here as well inside the bigger range. So right now, the tighter range that's being formed is 36.60 and 36.16 to the lows. What happened today? We almost touched that 36.16 down here. You see that? Huge waterfall dip into 36.16s. Hugely oversold, sorry. And look at the V-shaped recovery. We almost got back the whole dump right in the morning, okay? Another dip, another V-shaped recovery, another dip, V-shaped recovery, another dip, V-shaped recovery. And it's just been the theme so far, buy the dip until it stops working. So the reason I took IWM puts was because of this weakness on XLF at the end of the day. What I seen was 3660 was this key level. Look how many times XLF has stopped at 3660. Even right here when it ripped through, it was a false breakout. Head and shoulders right back below. Right here, stop. So this is the second time. Third time right here. Fourth time right here. Fifth time today. False breakout, okay? So when I seen that 3660 level hold, and it was obvious it wasn't going to get through because XLF was running and extended into this, I flipped over to IWM right away because IWM puts pay better than XLF in my experience. So we shorted IWM. Another reason I went so heavy on the IWM short is because if you zoom out to a daily, I show you guys these levels every day. If you're in the aftermarket, you have no reason not to have these levels drawn. And this is a huge level. So we have this support drawn from January. All the way from January, this support was drawn, right? We broke below it. It was a false breakdown as we got right back on top of it. You see yesterday's candle, we held that support. Sorry, that was fast. Pretty much held the support. You can tinker with the line, move it around here and there, whatever, right? You can even move it like this a little bit. It doesn't really change the long-term support, right? So this support held yesterday, which told me we are going to get a bounce. But on top, if you look at this 222 level, it's a big level. 222. So we rejected here. It was support right here. Support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support. Like, look how many times it's gotten caught up at this. So we went down to the lower trend line, bounced, rejected 222. Went down to the lower trend line, bounced, rejected 222 for 3 days, and then finally got through it. Came back down, held 222 as support. Came back down, held 222 as support. Look at the size of this volume shelf at 222. Oh, where'd that go? Right here. Look at the size of this. 222 and 226 have huge volume shelves here. That's because people are stuck there. They're trying to get out. They're trying to make their sells there or try to make their buys there. So there's just a big shelf here, big resistance slash support, whatever. If it's below it, it's resistance. If it's on top of it, it's support. You see the body of the candle closing right, 222, support 222. You guys can look over it yourselves. It's a huge level. And what we did today, we absolutely ripped into that level. So IWM was way overbought going into 222. So if it wants to break this strong of a level, so this is not a breakout, guys. If you're looking at a 5-minute chart and you think this is a breakout over 222, you're sadly mistaken. You gotta zoom out and look at bigger time frames. If it goes over the level for like 5-10 minutes, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So what happened was we ran too hard into 222. I jumped in puts around here, I believe. Couple candles above, nothing really scared me as long as we held this high of 222.60. As long as we didn't break that, I was never going to get out of my IWM puts. As soon as we went back below, look at the follow through, straight down for 25 minutes straight, and after hours we are going sideways, just cool off the RSI. We'll see where we open tomorrow. I expect those ones to be more than 100%. Just my opinion. You guys seen me play IWM. I never get less than 100%. Let's see what happens. Amazon, big nothing burger all day. Huge dip in the morning, huge V-shaped recovery, another huge rip, and then we recovered about 50% of that move. Let's see if we gap up and run into earnings tomorrow. I still have a little too many Amazon lottos, so let's see if we get that follow through. I will be scaling out quickly tomorrow, so hopefully we get a run into the earnings. SE, I've never seen SE go sideways this long before. It's always a wicked mover. This morning we got that nice open around 274. And we dumped straight down into the 266s. 265 was the low today. Again, another V-shaped recovery. And again, huge volume shelf here around 274.25. And you guys see how the price action just like kind of slows down there. And look at all day just hugging that line at 274.25. Means there's a lot of stop losses there. There's a lot of buy stops there. It's like we have to clear out a bunch of orders before it gets moving. But above that, right now where it closed is very nice. There's a bunch of thin air up here. Let's see what happens. If you zoom out to the weekly, it looks pretty good. Still holding that 21-day moving average on this whole ride up. Except for here, apparently, yeah. So one close below the 21-day. Next week, we're back above it. One close below 21-day. Next week, we're back above it. This time, look where we bounced right at the 21-day. Just undercut it a little bit and then ripped. We're forming a hammer candle on the weekly. All-time highs on SE were set last week at $300. Let's see if we can get back up there. We still have lottos for Friday. So let's see if we remain bullish tomorrow. Right now, so what I was telling you guys was, if Jay Powell did something crazy and SPY absolutely ripped, if we touch the top of this channel, you see this horizontal line I have drawn here. If we touch that today, I was planning on getting out of every single long I have and going really short on a lot of stuff. I would short SPY, I was going to short IWM, and I was going to take VIX calls. But we didn't quite get up there. We didn't even get yesterday's high, I believe, 439.94, 44. Yeah, so we got above yesterday's high, but we did not break the 8-day to the lower. So, and we did not get to the top of the channel. So, right now, everything's still bullish. We're still in the channel. I did not take all my shorts. I only took IWM as a hedge because I do have calls. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. T-Doc was the play of the day. So absolutely crushed on earnings. It opened up this morning at 134 and we closed at 151. So a $17 move. I've never seen T-Doc move $17 in a day before, personally. So look at the size of this candle. You see that size of candle anywhere else? Maybe here. This day we were down 40 points back in August of last year. So that's the last time I got that much movement in one day. T-Doc 140s went up about, I'd like to say 600%, but I didn't look at what they closed at. So closed at the high of the day. Absolute ripper all day. This is insane. Look at the volume that came in at the lower prices. Then kind of stagnated, consolidated. Perfect low volume consolidation. End of day, huge buying. Exactly what you want to see for follow through. We should gap up on T-Doc tomorrow. Again, last night, I went over the T-Doc earnings. They were actually really good. The only problem with T-Doc was that they overpaid for their acquisitions, which is they're expanding their company. If they're overpaying for acquisitions, that just means they're getting bigger. So it's not that big a deal. Obviously, the market didn't think so either. The 140 lottos for Friday, I think they opened up at like 40 cents or something, and they went all the way to like $6. I'm not sure. Yeah. 1,200%, thanks, DOVISH. 1,200% if you bought the 140 T-Docs today and held them all day. Congrats. I know a couple people hit them. I know Vladdy hit them for a lot. A couple people in my stock life hit them too. Congratulations. Remember, selling early is not a bad thing. You get your profits and get the hell out. You can focus on other stuff. Don't worry about it. There's lots more plays. So Zoom, I don't know why I drew that trend line. I just got bored. Zoom looks great. Still looks fantastic. Let's see if we can, it's an inside day today. So what I'm looking for tomorrow is you have to watch. If it breaks the lows of today, this trade is a wash. It's done. If it breaks the high of the day, we can go back to yesterday's high of 377.70. And if we do get some momentum with the Delta, whatever, Delta variant, whatever the hell you want to call it, we can go straight back to 381. So Zoom is just a watch for now. It's just an inside day. No big deal. Everything's still in place. We still broke through that long-term resistance, retested that long-term resistance, and turned it into support, and now we're moving up. And today we closed above all the important moving averages except the 200-day. So everything looks fine on Zoom. Let's see where we open up tomorrow. Alibaba, I was 2 days too early on my Baba Lottos, and Ricky was 1 day too early on his, but they might be break even now. I'm not sure. We had this beautiful falling wedge. I love falling wedges. Everyone in MSL knows that. It's one of my favorite patterns. So I was watching this falling wedge for a break to the upside. We actually broke it to the downside, but look at this hammer candle on the weekly on Baba. If we get back into this range, I will still be watching this falling wedge. If it still breaks out, it doesn't void the pattern. If this candle closes within this falling wedge, this weekly falling wedge is still intact. So we will wait, and if we get a breakout of this, I will absolutely load Baba, the top trend line right here, okay? So that's what I'm waiting for on Baba. Obviously, I don't care about, I told you guys 100 times, I don't care about catching the low, I don't care about catching the top, I just want the meat of the move. So that's what I'm waiting for on Baba. UPST, strong day today again. We're just getting tighter and tighter on the daily. When do we break? When do we break? So look at this. I'm not going to count the days, but you guys can kind of tell how many days we consolidated here. And then absolute explosion, right? 3 days. How many days do we consolidate here? So many days. Explosion. So how many days do we consolidate here? And I'm just waiting for that damn explosion. I'm going to show you the same chart every single day. If you go to the weekly chart, it's the same exact thing. Huge 4 weeks consolidation, and then 1 week where it ripped 116%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of consolidation, then 50% ripper. And then again, right now we have about 6, 3, and 6, and this is the 7th week. So let's see when we go. Earnings could be a big catalyst for this one. I've seen their ads all over YouTube. Whenever I see that, that's a good sign in my experience. We got NEO here, very strong close. We got that gap up overnight with the rest of the Chinese stocks. Right now on NEO, what I need to see is I need to see a close above the 50-day. So when we bought this, we bought the 45s for August 13th. I don't think they'll lose too much premium just because we have earnings next week. So that's why I'm holding them. If we had this kind of day yesterday and I didn't have earnings catalyst and delivery number catalyst, I probably would have got out of these NEOs. But today was a strong hammer candle. Let's see if we can get continuation. All Chinese stocks look good for some continuation. They were way oversold, especially BABA. Like you see BABA, even on the daily, it got oversold yesterday. So yesterday the RSI on the daily was 28. It's very rare to see daily get oversold unless we're in a correction. And Chinese stocks were in a huge correction. Even the weekly RSI has just been like down here, tagging, whatever. So let's see the 4-hour bounce too. So let's see if we get some follow through on this bounce. If we start getting over these 198 numbers and start filling some of these gaps, all Chinese stocks can run big. PDD had some more big bullish bets today. Whenever you see PDD with big bullish bets on flow, it usually works. These guys usually know what they're doing. So SMFR, this is the ticker that used to be CMLF. I don't know if you guys remember those options that ripped for us after 3 weeks of waiting. They changed their names to SMFR. I like CMLF better, but whatever. Solid company, long term. I'm very bullish. I have equity in this one. I'm holding it forever probably. I told Blitzkrieg about this stock, and this guy, I don't know what it is, but he has a way of timing stocks. He bought this morning at $9. I'm in from like a $12 average, I think, around 12 or 11 bucks. And I told him about it a while ago, and today he bought for like 980 something, and the low of the day was 984, and it closed at $11. So he's already up $2 on all his shares, and the guy's rich. He said 3% of his portfolio, he's rich. Made a ton of money. So congrats to Blitzkrieg. I don't think he's in here. He's more of a fundamental guy. He likes to watch Warren Buffett, not charts. Here is X. So I wanted to show you steel. Why did I want to show you steel? I pointed this chart out earlier today because the infrastructure bill, and they have earnings tomorrow, I believe. So this is a very, very tight chart on steel here. I don't think I've ever traded steel. I've watched it so many times. I've never traded. I think I take CAT every time instead. So we closed above this big volume shelf here. The next resistance is 25.33, but the moving average, the 50-day moving average is at 24.43. And today we closed at 24.55. So we closed above the 50-day moving average on X. We have the catalyst of earnings. We have the catalyst of the infrastructure bill. So keep an eye on this United States Steel Corporation. The ticker is X. It's kind of been doing absolutely nothing since since January of this year. So in January it was the same price as it is right now. Done absolutely nothing. And 2 catalysts coming. I like the setup. It's over 50-day moving average. Take a swing at it tomorrow if you want to. Always do your research. It's not financial advice. Here's Snow. Snow finally got through and then dumped right after. So Snow, what are we watching? We're watching this daily pattern here. This is what you call a cup with a handle. I don't know, some of you guys be calling other stuff. What is going on here? Yeah, so this is a cup. This is the handle. And now it goes through. So what we need to see on Snow next week is a break of 272. So the magic number on Snow is 272. If we break through 272, I think this thing goes flying. 280 calls are in play for next week. I think it can go even to, can even go all the way up here to 226-ish. 225 is the next target on Snow after it breaks. What the hell am I saying? 326. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 325. So if we break through 272 on Snow, it could go straight to 325. There's a big volume shelf here at 300 flat. Obviously 300 big psychological number, so keep an eye on that one too. But through 272 we can get 300. Through 300 we can get 325. You guys know what I mean. Whatever. It's been a long day. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I asked everyone how many positions they were in today because it seems like a very few people in the chat, they're in every position. Any position that's called out, you guys say, I have calls in this, I have puts in this, I have spreads in this, I have this many layers, I have this, I have that. Just make sure you guys have cash to take chances. When an opportunity arises, make sure you have enough cash to take that opportunity. And don't get too bullish, too bearish. The market, it looks great. I mean, it looks great. But if you zoom out, I mean, look at this. Since last March, SPY was trading at $218. Today we closed at $438. So just in a year and 4 months, we almost doubled the SPY. SPY's average return is 10% a year. Keep that in mind. We're way above 10% already for this year. I think we even got more than 10% last year, even with the correction. And the year before that, you see it's more than 10% too. So the more you zoom out, the more scary this chart looks. Look at the monthly. When have we been parabolic like this before? Never. So just keep that in mind. No one can time market tops and bottoms. Who knows? Tomorrow we could completely fall off a cliff. Keep some cash in your account so you can take advantage of puts on the way down. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you guys for attending. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Good stuff.
Good.